Hello, welcome from Keynes here. It's Marley from XR Northampton. Together with XR Bedfordshire, we took the site in Milton Keynes. We have had 7 brave rebels arrested and an 8th mysteriously arrested because upon a random background check from the police here, they managed to discover that a rebel who had never received a summons to court missed a recent court date for a previous rebellion, and so they've been taken to a cell and they're going to be held overnight and due in court in the morning. So that was a unlikely turn of events. You might hear in the background the angle grinders going as they release the final 2 lock-on rebels here. They've been on the road for 12 hours now, 12 grueling, cold, wet hours. And I'm just going to move because there's vehicles moving around. But it's been an absolutely this day. I mean, 13 sites here in the UK, as well as one in the Netherlands and one in Germany, on this amazing Make Amazon Pay Day in coalition with and in solidarity with campaigns for workers' rights across the globe, including strikes and union campaigns against the horrific workers' conditions that Amazon push onto their staff. I recently found out that if Amazon paid all of their 1.3 million staff members a $600,000 COVID bonus, they would still have as much money as they had before the pandemic. Meanwhile, the rest of us are scrimping and saving and struggling to get by. It just goes to show the grotesque nature of profiting out of exploitation of humans, of exploitation of the planet. Meanwhile, all the while, put in 60 million metric tons of carbon into the atmosphere in 2020. So that's why we're here today. That's why we've been here today. We cannot thank the rebels who've been carted off in the back of Pixie vans enough for their dedication, their commitment, their love, their solidarity, their compassion, and I just feel in absolute awe of these people who've been locked onto a road for 12 horrible hours since 4 o'clock this morning. We've been working our day with lots of snacks and lots of love, and people have been coming to visit us. We had some Stop HS2 campaigners show up to say hi, and we've also had some other local rebels who shown up with supplies, hot.
So this is Rugeley again. The cherry picker arrived to remove the climbers on top of the bamboo structures. A couple of arrests have been made already. We're still here from quite a distance, but we're still here to support them. They've been very brave. It's been a cold day, very rainy.
Okay, hello here from XR Scotland, where we've just hit 12 hours of our blockade of the biggest distribution center Amazon has in the United Kingdom. 4 of our very, very brave rebels are still locked on. As you can see, the sun is setting, and we're coming in. It's extremely cold, but we're holding strong, and we're trying to show solidarity. point out the environmental concerns that Amazon contributes to. So just gonna pan around here. Right there on the side, we're counting how many trucks we've stopped. It's slowly starting to rain, but we're still here. Fortunately, no one has been arrested yet, unlike some of the other sites. Here we have, oh, sorry, we have a Make Amazon Pay banner. A lot of drivers are showing their support. Yeah, how are we feeling? What's the mood like?
Yeah, it's still good, you know, morale's been good all day. I mean, we all know why we're here and just keep each other going. Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. So yeah, we're still in high spirits, even 12 hours in. Staying strong, planning to stay as long as we can to blockade, to show our solidarity and point out that Amazon cannot keep doing what it's doing. Yeah. So can pass on to whoever's next.
Hi, coming from the Peterborough site where we just had a bit of a rainstorm come through. I say rainstorm, there was definitely hail involved as well, and the squall sent the flags fine, but everyone is still alright up in their towers. So the tripods are still there. There's been a call out for some hot water bottles, which I think are going to get delivered, but the blockade is still on. Black Friday exploits people and planet, Amazon exploiting the planet, Amazon emissions ruining the planet, the ecology, not treating their workers right, so we're going to stay here. The blockade's still on in Peterborough, other tripod up here, and we'll have a quick wander up the road. The Samba band were still playing throughout the hailstorm up on the roundabout, entertaining the traffic as it went past, and hopefully drawing attention to while we're here as well today. So down at the Peterborough warehouses, keeping the blockade strong, drawing attention to the complicity of Amazon in the climate and ecological crisis. And you may just be able to hear the dulcet tones of the Samba band as people come in from various parts of the country, playing up on the roundabout. I've got another tripod down here. So if you're watching from home, please remember to share, like, comment, get the word out there of what we're doing today and why we're doing it. Doing it to draw attention to Amazon's carbon emissions, which are bigger than medium-sized countries, 60 million cubic tons of carbon dioxide, greenhouse gases a year. Treating their workers really badly. Well, Bezos makes billions of pounds. And also complicit working with companies like Exxon to get more fossil fuels out the ground. So yeah, please get the word out there and see you out on the street soon. Hi, coming from the Peterborough.
Hi, welcome back to Milton Keynes site. Sorry about any audio issues that we experienced slightly earlier, but I'm hoping that those are sorted out. So as I was saying before, we are just having our final rebels cut out of their lock-on, and then 12 hours blockade. We consider it to be a pretty decent success. We've got a couple of rebels still knocking about who've been helping out with welfare and things like that today. So I'm just going to go quickly over to have a conversation with one of the rebels and just ask why he's here and what his experience of the day has been. So I'll just pass this over to you if you're happy to talk into that. And Yeah, just how's the day been for you?
Wow. We arrived at 4 at this huge, large warehouse on an incredibly cold, personal, industrial estate in, well, not even on the outskirts of Milton Keynes, just at junction 13, back of beyond, really. We locked on really fast, really easily. The security came out, the security didn't come out and do anything. We called the police. We had an incident with an aggressive
Dusk is falling down in Peterborough, and we're still here. We have 3 towers, 3 tripods. You can see one there, one across there, and one back at the car park up there. I'm going to try and keep the camera steady because the reception's a little bad, so apologies if we disappear. But things are going well here. I know some of the other sites have fallen now, but we're strong in Peterborough despite the hail, despite the rain. Spirits are still high. And we're not going to move unless they make us, because it's so important that we make this point on Black Friday after the failure of COP26. COP26 failed, we still got rising emissions, and Amazon are complicit in that. They pump out millions of tons of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases each year. They're treating their workers pretty abhorrently, and they're in league with fossil fuel giants like Exxon, with their Amazon Web Services, with the oil and gas exploration. So we've got cold rebels here, we've got slightly damp rebels here, but spirits are high. We just had some soup delivered, which was really nice of the welfare team that came round. Soup and hot drinks have come round for the people that are locked on. There's no sign of the police moving in yet. They've been around and agreed to facilitate the protest. They said they will give us warnings if they are going to move in, but as yet, all stable down in Peterborough, and we'll stay here for as long as we can, I think. The dusk is falling, it is getting cold, but the skies are clear at the moment, so I think we're going to carry on and see how we go in solidarity with the other sites. I heard there was snow up in Dumfries. Thankfully, we haven't got snow, although it is chilling off a little bit now, but everyone is in good spirits, healthy, and the people up in the tripods are doing pretty well. Yeah, and we'll just carry on. It's amazing, isn't it, how big Amazon is, how much money it earns. Bezos earns billions and billions of pounds, and yet he can't even treat his employees properly. I was talking to somebody earlier who was talking about how they have so many ambulance call-outs to Amazon warehouses each year because they're driven to exhaustion by really tight shifts, not being paid enough money. Their targets are so high that they end up injuring themselves. So perhaps Bezos, instead of taking all this money and squirreling it away for his space projects, which are causing damage in themselves, he could pay his workers properly and give them a bit of a break, as well as perhaps reducing emissions. Because what Amazon's doing on things like Black Fridays, it's encouraging us to consume stuff. It's encouraging us to buy stuff we don't really need. And another surprising stat, which I didn't know about, was all the waste products. So the stuff that's returned or the stuff that doesn't get sold just ends up in landfill. So the waste is amazing on these things. So I've learned a lot today about Amazon and its practices. I'll just turn the camera around. Just introduce myself. James from Norwich on a road trip. Hi everyone. Yeah. So Amazon, complicit in the climate crisis, treating its workers really badly, dodging tax. So it hardly pays any tax in this country, and Lord knows that if it just paid tax as it was due, then that might help with the NHS or other worthy causes. Perhaps we could put up a few refugees, eh? So yeah, please get the word out there about what we're doing. Like, share, comment on this stream. Let people know Amazon's complicity in the climate and ecological crisis and what they're doing to their workers, because it's not right. We'll just see if I think I've lost my interviewees, but let's just see if there's anyone around. Hey, do you want to say a few words for the live stream? While you're here? Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, just hold the speaker.
Hello.
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about why we're here, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Yeah, what brings you down to very cold and wet Peterborough?
Yeah, so it has been a cold, wet day today, but we're here for three main reasons, really. We're doing this blockade today to shut Amazon down because of their egregious record on the environment. They have contributed emissions equivalent to Denmark, so an entire country. That's their annual emissions, and they're going up every year. So they went up by about a fifth last year. Every year since that data's been published, 2018, the emissions have gone up. And they only publish that information because workers put pressure on them, and in fact those workers have been were threatened as a result of that. Second reason is workers' rights. So I've already kind of touched on that, but since 2018, over 900 workers, there have been over 900 call-outs of the ambulance service to attend to workers who needed medical attention at Amazon warehouses. And actually last month at Tilbury, which is another of the sites we're blockading today, one of the workers died. And the final reason is tax evasion. So they are tax dodgers, and that's enabled by the governments of the countries they operate in. And in fact, they are relying on all this infrastructure that is funded by the public, paid for by the public, to generate their profits, and they don't actually contribute towards that.
It must be millions, if not billions, of pounds of lost tax revenue that we could be using. Then I can't wrap my head around the amount of money. I mean, how much are we talking here? Do you think?
I actually don't have the figure to hand, but globally it will be, it will be millions, if not billions, that's being lost, and they're generating huge profits as a result of that. And this is how they work. They make marginal profits, and they sell in bulk. So it's all about volume. It's kind of that's the whole kind of MO really.
And is it right that a lot of their products, when they get returned, just get sent straight to landfill? I was hearing about earlier.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they a lot of electronic equipment that gets returned, appliances and things, instead of actually being shared with those who need it. Given away, like a lot of responsible companies would do. It just gets thrown into landfill, and that helps push up demand and generates profits for them in future.
My God! So they're not only complicit in the climate and ecological crisis; they're also treating their workers badly, dodging tax. The list just goes on. In league with Exxon and other companies. I mean, yeah. I think it's important that we draw attention to this, isn't it?
Yeah. So just the final thing, Amazon Web Services is responsible for 34% of cloud storage globally, and they provide services for fossil fuel companies like Exxon, BP, and Shell, and actually it gives them a monopoly on the market, and it gives them a monopoly on information. It gives them the ability to control the flow of information because they're hosting, digital content and so on. It's dangerous. It's a danger to democracy.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you so much for the information. The more I learn, the more horrified I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Brilliant. Keep up the good work. So yeah, we're let me just sort this out. If you're just joining us, we're down in Peterborough still. The tripods are still up. The lock-ons are still going. People are a bit cold and damp after the hail, rain, and the squall that came through. But spirits are still high. We've still been fed, and it's really interesting to learn about what Amazon have been up to and what they continue to do, and how complicit they are in the climate and ecological emergency. And as we were discussing there, treating their workers badly, health and safety incidents, not being paid properly for their work, while Bezos squirrels away billions of pounds for his space projects. And yeah, interesting about Amazon Web Services, of course, which is really huge, and how they're the platform that's being used for the likes of Exxon in oil and gas exploration. So please do like, share, comment on this live stream, get the word out there, talk to your friends and family. Maybe ask them to consider to cancel their Amazon Prime subscription, or buy from local producers perhaps, rather than coming up to Christmas. Maybe buy from your local producers, local shops, rather than support this massive industry that isn't doing the planet any good. Perhaps we could maybe consume a little less, spend quality time with our friends and family, play some games, rather than buy stuff we don't really need that, by the sounds of it, a lot of it ends up in landfill. Yeah, so we're going to carry on down in Peterborough. There are police, by the looks of it, around, but they're still holding off at the moment. So as darkness falls, we don't know whether they'll come in or not tonight. But solidarity with the other sites. Sounds like Milton Keynes is in the process of being removed, but I know several others around the country are still going strong. Yeah, we'll see if we can just go over here and see the other tripod. Whilst you're still with me. Some brilliant, no worries. Yeah. Okay, love and rage to everyone. Take care. From love from Peterborough, and everyone see you on the streets. Keep up the good work.
Just to reiterate, we absolutely are not here to cause disruption to individuals. We're not here to cause disruption to workers. That is the last thing we want to do. We're here because we are fucking desperate and we don't know another way to fight these issues and to make these changes in the world that we know needs to happen. That organisation is workers live in fear of them spying on them. That's the culture that they have, that's the system that they operate within, and that's what we're fighting against. And that's why we're on this van today. We made an offer to the police that if we came down and they would agree that we wouldn't be arrested and we could go away. They didn't accept that offer. At other sites across the country they did, but here they didn't accept that offer. So we don't think we're in a position to come down off this van now. And we genuinely, is that a painful decision both ways, because seriously, from my heart, like, that's not what we're here to do, and it makes me feel deeply upset that is the result of it. But the police have put us in this position and we don't think we've got another choice. And because we think the evils in that building and of Jeff Bezos and his rocket program and his lack of regard for this country leaves us in no position to do anything else, and we're genuinely deeply sorry about that to these people that are impacted. Yeah, that's basically our decision. Thank you.
I'm Chickpea. We're at the East Midlands Gateway site in Derby and Nottingham, blockading this Amazon depot. I'm with my friend Phyllis here on a lock-on. We're wrapped up nice and cosy, staying warm. You can probably see from my hair it's quite blustery here. We've just had a beautiful sunset that's just disappeared, and we've got our wonderful beacon standing high with our amazing climbers, and this wonderful cock rocket swinging about in the wind like Jeff Bezos's hopes and dreams. We've got our crew of well-being over there and some tents with more lock-ons in them, so we're all still going strong. We've got a crew of police officers here at the moment. We've got about 7. I'll just pan the camera around. So we have had the protest removal team here doing an assessment of how they're going to get us out, and they've been and gone, and we've now just got a fairly strong police presence and being asked to leave, but we're not leaving, so we'll wait and see how the situation develops, but for now we're doing good. It's been fantastic. Went home around 2 PM on full pay, which is great. And all the vans that came in, the transit vans, the HGVs that came in this morning, quickly worked out that they weren't going to get in anywhere. So this road behind us is completely empty and bare. So all in all, I think it's been a successful action. Any words to add, Phyllis?
No, just that it's been fantastic and that I'm nice and toasty warm.
Yeah, we've had an amazing wellbeing team here today, so we hope everyone at the other sites is faring as well as us. And we've also had a couple of conversations our wellbeing people have had with some of the workers, and we've had a mixture of positive and not so positive responses from HGV drivers going past, but lots of honking horns, and you can probably hear the music playing in the background. Good vibes all round. Oh, and we had samba earlier. That was great. Right. Goodbye from us all at East Midlands Gateway.
Well, hello everyone, it's Todd, and we are back in Tilbury. This is a pre-recorded message because I don't have much battery left, and I don't have much energy left either, to be honest. I'm completely drained, as all the other activists are here. What we've witnessed is really just heartbreaking, to be honest, because earlier on we was confronted with a challenge which we had to navigate, and essentially we had a group of haulage lorry drivers that had been caught up in our blockade, in the blockade, and they worked for a different company up the other end, and you know, we basically ran a people's assembly. You know, we practiced what we preach, and you know, it was peaceful, it was you know, respectful. We heard valid concerns on both sides, and the police seems to be facilitating that, and you know, we basically came to a vote that we was going to move out of the way and basically abandon this position to let these workers get home, you know, against, you know, the better wishes of the passionate people. You know, even the people that were locked on, you know, came to that conclusion because, you know, we ran a real democratic process, and after we came to that conclusion, the police then we put a decision. There was a message that came from some of the lockdown activists that, you know, we'd heard from Doncaster, I believe, that they'd been let go without any charges, and we'd had this democratic process. So we then put it to the police to see if they could ask their superiors, if the activists, if we moved out of the way, that if they could be let go without arrest. And the police took ages, of course, and delayed the workers, even though we were prepared to move, and came back and basically said no. And you know, that caused you know, a lot of tension. Basically the police corrupted the process, and you know, were loyal to the state rather than, you know, listening to the people, and you know, or following the actions of the people, you know, the officers up in Doncaster. So yeah, I feel like there's been another injustice, another heavy-handed tactics. We've formed bridges with the workers. A couple of them in particular were, I think they're ready to sign up. You know, they were shocked at the behaviour of the police, and they felt, you know, it was actually the police in the end that were the problem. You know, the workers are still over there. They've been blockaded because the police have already arrested 3 of the activists. One, Jeff Bezos from the Rocket, has been arrested. I'll see if I can't swing round at the minute on this mode, but I'm gonna just show you a little bit of what's going on the scene here. And yeah, I'm not going to be on the live stream later, but because I'm running low on battery and I need to recharge myself with that regen culture that we have. But so I'm just going to give you a little show of what's happening here. We've got the last 2 activists up on top of the lorry. The tactical unit have moved in, and yeah, there we go. Old Jeff Bezos his head's disappeared now, but his rocket's left there. And there we go. This is Tilbury, the biggest centre in the UK, and you can see over the back there all of the workers standing there, you know, that basically had to wait, and they might not even get home now for the weekend because of the legalities of, you know, the way the lorry clocking system works. And we heard all those pleas, and you know, we held up people's assembly, but you know, the police had other ideas, and here we are. So also the activists down on the south side have been removed now. I believe the police arrested all of the well-being team as well. So yeah, that's about it from me, and I hope you enjoy watching the rest of the protests at the various the other 14 locations across the UK and Europe. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah,
So as you can hear, this is us in the Dartford site. It's just after lunchtime now. They've got the first biscuit unlocked in the other site. What that means is they're going to now take Alex off the tripod, and then they've got business as usual going back to normal. So they'll be having vans in and out really soon, and so what we've decided here is that we're also going to dismount. There's no point in us being arrested. At this point, we're not serving any purpose, we're not stopping the business, and effectively the protest has ended here. So this is us signing off from the B gate at Dartford.
Well, again, just another quick update from our fulfilment station down here at Tilbury, the biggest in the UK, just around the corner from Tilbury Docks, and the second biggest in Europe. And the last two activists who are up there on top of the truck are just having an angle grinder used on the lock-on device they must have had up there as well. So yeah, it looks like they're in it till the end, but it's wet, cold and raining here, so not very pleasant, but you know, these activists aren't here out of choice. So yeah, thanks again, and it looks like the police might be there a while, and my battery is definitely going to die at any minute now, so we'll pass on to the next speaker and catch you later. Power to the people. People got the power. Tell me, can you hear it? Getting stronger by the hour. Power! People! People! Power!
Hi folks. Black Friday exploits people on the planet. So we're still in Peterborough. It's really interesting seeing what's going on at the other sites, really feeling for the other rebels that have been there all day. Been a long day. We're still here on the beacons down in Peterborough. You can see one ahead of me. As the sun sets, it's going to be clear skies. It's going to be pretty cold tonight, I think. But we've got hot soup, we've got hot drinks, we've got a lot of rebel spirit, we've got a samba band around as well. That are going to come and play some music a bit later as well. So we're still going strong down in Peterborough. I've had quite a lot of support from local rebels as well as people coming from all across the east of England. And as with other sites, you know, members of the public has come along to say hello to us and see what we're doing. So a reminder, why has this action been taking place all over the country today? From all the way up in Scotland to the southwest, to the southeast, to around London, to the east of England. Rebels have been locking on beacons, around beacons, at gates to the Amazon depots, because Amazon exploits the planet, unfortunately. Its emissions are bigger than Denmark, from a small country. 60 million cubic tons, I think was quoted earlier. And as we heard earlier as well, they exploit their workers from the point of view of low wages, bad health and safety records. They're in league with the likes of Exxon and oil and gas exploration. I think they're in league with lobbyists in the US on it. They're dodging taxes, and they're encouraging flagrant consumerism that is driving extraction of minerals from the planet and bad conditions for workers abroad. So yes, it's been a really good day of actions around the country. Lots of rebel activity, lots of welfare support, lots of planning. So gratitude to everyone that's put time and effort into this. Brilliant day of action. And long may it continue. As usual, please get the word out there. Please talk to your friends, your family, your colleagues about what Amazon are doing. It's really important that people understand we're doing this for a reason. We don't really want to be here, but we've got to change the system. We've got to change the way we live. So yeah, please like, share, comment on this live stream and get the word out there. And together we can be successful. So love and rage to you all, and see you on the streets soon. Over and out from Peterborough.
Amazon.
From Amazon.
Of Amazon.
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 Fulfillment center employees are protesting poor and demanding conditions.
Hundreds of employees on 0-hours contracts.
Retaliation against workers who voice concerns about the company's environmental impact.
I want to thank every Amazon employee and every Amazon customer because you guys paid for all of this.
I'm a former Amazon worker. On the 26th of November, I'll be suspended about 8 meters in the air outside their fulfillment centre.
We are here to send a message that we cannot continue with business as usual. Amazon represents business as usual. It represents corporations that perpetually put profit before the well-being of people and planet.
I've experienced firsthand the Amazon worker exploitation. You know, working 10.5-hour shifts, not being allowed to sit down at all.
The planet is literally on fire. People are dying every single day, and that's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. So for the billionaires to play around with their rockets in a time like this, it's pretty jarring. We live on a planet that is burning before our eyes, and on that planet there's so many suffering, and then such a few with so much that could help so many people. Just thinking about it.
As we speak, there are rebels blockading the following sites: Doncaster, Darlington, Newcastle, Manchester, Peterborough, Derby, Coventry, Rugeley, Dartford, Bristol, Milton, Keynes, and all the way up in Dunfermline. That is 13 of the biggest fulfilment centres in the UK.
The COP process has failed. After nearly 30 years, negotiations between nations have been unable and unwilling to deliver an adequate plan to keep global warming below 1.5 degrees. In fact, we are headed for much worse. The future of life on Earth hangs in the balance. We have lost so much already. And with the warming that is already locked in, further humanitarian impacts are now inevitable. There is still so much we can save, but the truth is, there are no easy options left. We are in an unprecedented situation, one that our political system both created and is unable to deal with. We need a political system that isn't beholden to short-term thinking or corrupted by fossil fuel interests. One that's inclusive and fair, not divided by tribalism, but able to bring the country together. To do this, we must put ordinary citizens at the heart of our democracy, to make the tough decisions that our government is unable or unwilling to make, and to do so free from the corruption of Westminster. This is the vision that Extinction Rebellion was founded on. As the abolitionist Frederick Douglass said, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and it never will." History has shown us that time and time again, one method has consistently been able to deliver meaningful societal change. When millions of people come together to demand change, governments have no choice but to act. This is what's needed now. Let's do what works: prolonged, disruptive, non-violent civil resistance. That's why in 2022, Extinction Rebellion is planning to create the largest act of civil resistance in UK history. But we need your help. Whoever you are, there's a role waiting for you. Everyone is welcome and everyone is needed. Change is not going to come from inside conference rooms, but from ordinary people like you and me. See you on the streets.